Here are 123 facts about the Lamborghini Countach. The Countach isn't just another supercar, it's the car that defined an entire era. The wedge-shaped rocket that turned garages into galleries and bedrooms into poster museums. It was loud, wild, and completely impractical, which is exactly why it became a legend. And Hollywood made sure of it. Remember The Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah, this is the car Leonardo DiCaprio absolutely destroyed on screen. So buckle up and let's start with the very first one. The Countach prototype shocked the world at the 1971 Geneva Motor Show. It wasn't just a car, it looked like a spaceship had landed in Switzerland. Here's the second one. The name Countach wasn't about bulls. It was a Piedmontese slang word that roughly translates to damn, exactly what you'd shout if one drove past you. Number 3 on our list, Marcello Gandini of Bertone designed it, the same guy who penned the Mura. That one was curvy. The Countach, sharp enough to slice a pizza. 4. Its wedge shape influenced decades of cars. Without the Countach, we might never have gotten the DeLorean, Lotus Esprit, or even the C4 Corvette's sharp lines. 5. Lamborghini didn't even plan to make it at first, but the crowd reaction in Geneva was so wild they basically had no choice. Fact number 6. The scissor doors weren't just for drama. The sills were so wide, normal doors would have been useless in parking lots. 7. And that became Lamborghini's signature move. You say Lambo, most people think doors. Coming up at 8, the first production car, the LP 400, launched in 1974. Its 3.9-liter V12 made 375 horsepower, more than most muscle cars of the time. 9. It could reach 180 miles per hour. In the mid-70s, that was faster than most countries' speed limits combined. Here's 10. It only weighed about 2,900 pounds. Light by today's standards, featherweight for its time. 11. LP stands for Longitudinale Posteriore. Sounds fancy. Basically means we shoved the V12 behind the driver. 12. That gave it the wild cab forward stance, with the windshield almost over the front axle. 13. Early cars were clean. No flares, no wings, just a pure wedge. Like a concept car you could actually buy. 14. But as years passed, flares, scoops, and wings started piling on. By the 80s, it looked like a superhero costume. Let's call this 15. The famous rear wing slowed the car down, but almost everyone ordered it. Because honestly, who cared about top speed when it looked like that? 16 facts deep. Dealers charge extra for the wing, sometimes installing them in-house with varying quality. Owners didn't care. 17. Early models had a periscope rear-view mirror system. In theory, genius. In practice, it reflected nothing useful but the ceiling. 18. Which meant reversing was almost impossible. Thus was born the Countach lean, opening the door, sitting on the sill, and craning your neck out to see behind you. 19 on the board. Production ran from 1974 to 1990. That's 16 years, longer than most marriages. 20. In total, fewer than 2,000 were built. To put that in perspective, Ford sells that many F-150s before lunch. Fact 21. Rear tires were absurd. 345 millimeters wide, over 13.5 inches. At the time, they were the widest you could buy for a road car. 22. Visibility was so bad, many owners joked the blind spots had blind spots. 23. Inside, it was loud enough to rival a rock concert. At full throttle, over 110 decibels. Forget talking, you felt conversations in your chest. 24. The chassis was a space frame covered in aluminum, basically race car tech for the road. Here's 25. US models got neutered by emissions laws, dropping to around 255 horsepower. Driving one felt like having a caged lion. 26. Enthusiasts quickly fixed them, sneaking back Eurospec parts. 27. The Countach became iconic after the Cannonball Run in 1981. That opening chase scene? It's basically free advertising for Lamborghini. 28. That movie alone created thousands of bedroom posters across America. 29. Driving position was unique. Pedals offset, tiny footwell, and a steering wheel angled like a bus. Comfortable? Absolutely not. Iconic? Absolutely. Kicking things off at 30. Power steering? Forget it. Parking a Countach was basically an arm wrestling session with yourself. Drivers came out of grocery runs looking like they'd just finished a CrossFit workout. Sliding in at 31. Anti-lock brakes? Nope. Slam the pedal too hard and you were just a very stylish sled. Here's number 32. Under the engine lid live 6 Weber carburetors. Each one had to be tuned individually. Owning a Countach meant either becoming best friends with a carb whisperer or crying into your empty wallet. Rolling to 33. Fuel economy? Try 8 miles per gallon. Owners joked it didn't burn gasoline, it inhaled it. Next up, 34. The clutch pedal was so heavy some journalists claimed it doubled as leg day. Lamborghini gave you horsepower and quads. Cruising in at 35. Air conditioning? Technically, yes. Practically, it blew just enough cold air to keep your cigarette comfortable. Number 36 has wings. Those iconic side intakes use Enthusiast ducts, a design borrowed straight from fighter jets. The Countach didn't just look like a spaceship, it stole parts of the playbook. Here's 37. That gated 5-speed shifter? It made one of the most satisfying mechanical clicks ever. Drivers would row through gears just to hear the sound. Sliding to 38. The very first prototype, the LP 500, was sacrificed in crash testing. Imagine being the engineer who had to ram $1 million of design work into a wall. Coming at 39. In 1982, the LP 5000S arrived with a bigger 4.8-liter V12. More cubes, more drama. At 40 on our list, the 1985 Quattro brought 4 valve heads and 455 horsepower. Lamborghini basically said, more valves, more speed. Here's the 41st detail. U.S. regulators slapped hideous black bumpers onto imported cars. They looked like picnic benches bolted on with duct tape. 42, the rear wing didn't improve speed. In fact, it slowed the car, but it became so popular that most buyers demanded it because style beats science. Number 43 sneaks in. High-speed stability wasn't always stable. Some owners swore it felt like flying without wings. Revving into 44, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. In the 1980s, that was enough to embarrass nearly every Corvette, Porsche, or Mustang on the block. 45 is pure culture. The Countach wasn't just a car, it was a pop icon. Posters, arcade games, Hot Wheels, the Countach was everywhere. Sliding in at 46, famous owners? Elton John, Rod Stewart, Sylvester Stallone. If you were rich and wanted the world to know, you didn't buy a Ferrari, you bought a Countach. Here comes 47. Only about 150 early LP 400 periscopes were built. Today, they're the holy grail. Clean wedge design, worth over $1 million at auction. Number 48 with a twist. The 25th anniversary edition, released in 1988, was tweaked by a then-young Horatio Pagani. Yes, that Pagani. Before the Zonda, there was the Countach anniversary. 49. That version made just over 500 horsepower, more muscle than any Countach before it. Halfway to 100, at 50, only 657 anniversary models were ever built. Exclusivity was baked in. 51 drops in. Production ended in 1990. The Diablo took over, but nothing truly replaced the Countach in the public's imagination. Next, 52. Its silhouette inspired everything from the Toyota MR2 to the Vector W8. Sharp wedges became cool because of this car. At 53, before it was officially sold in America, gray market importers smuggled Countachs in. Rich guys literally bent laws to get their fix. Sliding into 54, Lamborghini's manual warned not to exceed 137 miles per hour for too long. The car could overheat. Imagine being told, congrats on your supercar, but don't use it. Revving up at 55, each car required around 1,200 hours of labor. No robots, just humans with tools and passion. Here's 56. Interiors were all hand-stitched leather. Beautiful, yes. But in summer, it was like sitting inside a pizza oven. 57 takes the cake. Cup holders? Italians laughed. Espresso at 180 miles per hour? No, grazie. At 58, luggage space was smaller than a laptop bag. Countach owners learned minimalism the hard way. Rolling in at 59, the turning circle was massive. Making a U-turn felt like commanding a battleship. 60 brings some truth. And yet, when people saw you behind the wheel, none of the impractical stuff mattered. 61. Insurance rates sky high. Owning a Countach in the 80s was like signing up for a financial daredevil course. Rolling to 62, the Countach was handmade in Sant'Agata Bolognese, a small Italian town. Imagine one of the loudest cars on earth being born in such a quiet place. 63 hits different. Many cars left the factory with quirks. Switchgear mismatched, wiring questionable, but that was part of the charm. Every Countach was slightly unique. At 64, those side mirrors, mounted halfway down the fenders. Visibility was awful, but they looked futuristic. 65 comes in hot. Celebrity photographer Helmut Newton once staged entire photo shoots around a Countach. That's how photogenic it was. Here's 66. Lamborghini actually built a one-off, stretched Countach limousine concept. It looked insane, and thankfully, it never made production. Sliding to 67, in video games like Outrun and Need for Speed, the Countach became the default dream car for an entire generation. 68 is legendary. Rap videos, posters, movies. The Countach defined exotic in the 80s. At 69, nice. Lamborghini only built around 2,000 Countachs total. That's rarer than many Ferraris. 70 rolls up. Top speed on Euro models exceeded 180 miles per hour. Ferrari and Porsches scrambled to catch up. 71 is a funny one. Because of its shape, kids would often mistake the Countach for a spaceship when they first saw it. Not wrong, honestly. At 72, Lamborghini engineers admitted the car was fast enough to terrify. That was kind of the point. 73 cruising by. It wasn't built for comfort, it was built for shock value, and it delivered every single time. Jumping to 74, the Countach wasn't just in posters. It appeared in Transformers as the Autobot Sideswipe. Millions of kids discovered it that way. 75 is retro cool. Wheels range from Campagnolo magnesium alloys to more aggressive OZ racing designs later on. Lightweight, but brittle if abused. Next, 76. Maintenance costs were eye-watering. A clutch replacement could cost as much as a brand new Honda Civic. 77 enters. The doors opened upward, but the windows only rolled down halfway. If you wanted to order a burger at a drive-thru, good luck. Here's 78. Some owners literally removed shoes to drive because the pedals were so tightly spaced. 79 is wild. Even though it was impractical, people lined up to buy it because the Countach wasn't about logic, it was about desire. 80 brings us here. Its design language created Lamborghini's brand DNA. Without the Countach, modern Lambos might still look like Maseratis. 81. Early press photos showed it in bright yellow. By the 80s, red became the poster child shade. 82 slides in. The sound of the V12 at 7,000 RPM was described as mechanical opera. Loud, chaotic, but breathtaking. 83. Despite the danger and quirks, many owners still daily drove their Countachs in cities like LA. Respect or insanity, you decide. 84 next up. Fuel tanks held around 40 gallons. With 8 miles per gallon, you were filling up every 250 miles, or sooner if you had a heavy foot. 85. Some Countachs were retrofitted with Alpine cassette decks, considered high-tech at the time. Imagine blasting Madonna while screaming past traffic. 86 rolling in. Each car was tailored to the buyer. Options included wild colors like lime green, purple, or even gold. Subtle, not in the vocabulary. 87. Lamborghini once built a police-spec Countach for the Italian Highway Patrol. Yes, a Countach cop car. Criminals didn't stand a chance. 88. Its legacy was so strong that in 2021, Lamborghini revealed a modern Countach LPY 804, paying tribute to the original Wedge. 89 flying in. Collectors today treat Countachs like art. Values have skyrocketed, with pristine examples fetching over $1.5 million. 90 lands. Even today, few cars cause jaws to drop like the Countach. It's rolling theater. 91. Lamborghini engineers themselves admitted the Countach wasn't perfect, but it was never meant to be. It was meant to shock. 92 sneaks in. The Countach became shorthand for supercar in the English language. You didn't say exotic car, you just said Countach. 93 revs. The car had 2 fuel tanks. Yes, 2. Filling it up required hitting both sides like a jet plane. At 94, headlights were pop-ups, adding to the spaceship aesthetic. Practical? Number cool? Absolutely. 95. Lamborghini even experimented with turbocharged prototypes, pushing power near 750 horsepower. Sadly, they never made production. 96 rolling here. The Countach was sold new for around $100,000 in the 80s. Today, try 10 times that. 97. Many owners hired personal mechanics because taking one to a random shop was a recipe for disaster. 98. Road and Track once described driving it as like taming a wild animal with a steering wheel. Here's 99. Even Ferruccio Lamborghini himself wasn't a huge fan of the later versions, calling them too aggressive. 100, a milestone. Despite his criticism, the Countach saved Lamborghini financially during the late 70s and 80s. 101. The Countach's flat body panels made it surprisingly easy to repair dents. Paint matching, however, was another nightmare. 102. Exhaust pipes look like rocket boosters, deliberate design to emphasize aggression. 103 sneaks in. Door handles were hidden inside scoops. Half the time, new owners couldn't even figure out how to open the car. 1044. Lamborghini often delivered cars late. Buyers didn't care. Waiting was part of the myth. 105. Some owners reported heat soaks so intense the cabin literally singed their shoes. Fashion risk included. 106. The Countach's development helped refine materials later used in Formula One. It was a lab on wheels. 107 rolling in. Driving one in traffic was exhausting, but on open roads, nothing else compared. 108. Lamborghini's design sketches from Gandini show even wilder versions that never left the page. 109. The Countach appeared in Miami Vice. If the white Testarossa was Ferrari's TV star, the Countach was Lambo's. 110. Lamborghini even considered a 4-door Countach concept. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. 111 sneaks in. With its outrageous looks, police often stopped Countach owners just to see the car up close. 112. Even when broken down on the side of the road, which happened, the Countach still drew crowds. 113 sliding by. Lamborghini sometimes shipped cars with tiny differences, like different vents or mirrors, making each year almost unique. 114. The car's drag coefficient was a poor 0.42, worse than some SUVs today, but aerodynamics were sacrificed for drama. 115. Many owners described ownership as half pain, half ecstasy. 116 coming next. Top Gear's James May once said the Countach was the poster that ruined a generation's taste in cars, and thank God it did. 117. Even Lamborghini's own test drivers admitted that driving flat out was terrifying but addictive. 118 slides in. Some Countachs were ordered in metallic black with gold wheels. The vibe? Darth Vader on a racetrack. 119. Its scissor doors influenced other exotics like the Diablo, Murcielago, and Aventador. 120. Lamborghini only began making cars in 1963. By 1974, the Countach had already cemented the brand's identity. 121 rolling in hot. The Countach became a time capsule of the 80s. Big hair, synth music, outrageous cars. 122. Even today, no supercar launch is complete without someone asking, but is it as iconic as the Countach? And finally, number 123. The Countach wasn't built to be perfect, it was built to be unforgettable, and 50 years later, it still is. And that's 123 wild, weird, and legendary facts about the Lamborghini Countach. If you had fun riding through history, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive. And tell us in the comments, which car should we cover next? Ferrari Testarossa? McLaren F1? Maybe something completely unexpected? Your choice might be our next episode.